You kind of sound like a robot.
Where am I? You see me now?
I can see you.
See me now. Can you?
Yes, but you sound like a robot.
Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Try talking. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
I can like hear myself on your end, but I can't hear.
I can like hear myself on your end, but I can't.
We're trying to get Jason situated, guys.
We're trying to get
Hi,
Jason situated,
Brian.
guys.
Let's see here. Hi, Shirley. Lady Liberty, good morning. Jason, can you hear me?
There, is that audio better?
Does he sound like a robot to anybody else?
Sounds
Unfortunately, we can't work these
great.
things out pre-live anymore.
Might be our last Happs.
Everybody thinks you sound like a robot.
I don't know what else to do then. Like
Brian Carty
an
says you sound like an alien robot.
There we go.
So, Jason, I will start reading some of the articles. Do you want to monitor the chat a little bit and maybe mute? And we'll try to do that. All right. We got 5 minutes though.
We got 5 minutes though. Is this any better? Is this audio?
That is very loud. I can hear you.
That is very loud. I can hear the episode.
Hello, Mary Ellen and Josh over on
Hello, Mary
YouTube.
Ellen and Josh over on YouTube.
For those of you just joining, this
For
is
those of
going
you
to
just joining
be
it, this is going to be
our last
our last.
cast show. Jason should sign. This his name is Jason. Jason, that's not sign language. Jason, you need to type. So, for those of you watching, this is going to be our last Happs multicast broadcast. Jason and I do have a new system that we're going to be trying out next week. We're still going to be multicasting to other platforms. We're very sad to see this go, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, Brian. Unfortunately, though, a lot of our followers that are traveling and trying to broadcast are just having a ton of problems with the app, and it kind of seems the app is going a bit more in a music direction. I know anytime I pull it up, my feed is full of musicians, which is great. That's just not the best for growing our platform. Yeah, so we're trying to unfortunately mute Jason. He sounds like a robot, but you guys can see that he's on a cruise right now. We're really thankful that Happs kind of gave us an interim place while we start to figure things out with losing Periscope. Um, so, we're very thankful for that, but we're actually going to be trying. Oh, Jason, this is great. If you want to give everybody a view while I talk, if you want to walk them around the retreat deck on the Celebrity Edge, that would be wonderful. Um, we miss Periscope. We really do. It's been hard to find something that replaces that. One of the neat things that we noticed from Happs actually with their new update is we actually got a breakdown of how many people are watching us on Facebook, how many watch on Twitter, how many watch on YouTube. Um, so that was kind of eye opening, and the majority of our audience actually watches us on other platforms, not just Happs. So we're going to be giving, it's called Restream a try. It lets us multicast to YouTube and all these other places. And we're also going to be coming up with a list of options for our followers within our group that are traveling and sharing their experiences as well, of different ways they can participate and share their trips with everybody in the group. Of course, you can always broadcast in our Facebook group, which is Today in Travel. And if you go to todayintravel.live in a browser, you will find us. There's not to say that maybe I'll pop into Happs and do a Happs only broadcast once in a blue moon when I'm traveling. It just seems like the platform is going in a different direction and is geared towards a different demographic a bit more now. And, not being able to show the slides and the photos like Jason and I normally do to make this look like a more streamlined, professional broadcast, at least we try to keep it professional for the most part, has been really difficult with this new invite. And a lot of our followers just are having a hard time with it. So we want to let everybody know in our group that we hear you and we're making some changes. Thank you, Jason. I know. Periscope was very easy to use. I miss it. I know, Shirley, a lot of people have Beardo and Weirdo Show moved to a different platform. It was a great interim shot, especially.
Robot.
You want to do the robot?
Still a robot.
So, Jason, we're about to get started here. I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to talk about some of the articles, and then I'll let you answer. Just try to keep it concise so that and you have to talk slow so that we can get through this last broadcast. Oh, good. You could text too, whichever you're more comfortable with. All right, guys, it is the top of the hour. My name is Haley. I am a travel blogger and I own a hotel sales support company with a small team of hotel lovers, and I love everything from Disney to Europe to cruising, and across the ocean from me, he's only an ocean away, is Mr. Jason Poole. He is an American Express travel representative. He books cruises, he does Europe land travel, wealth of information, and we host this show every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a Facebook group called Today in Travel. This is an open forum travel community where you can ask questions about any kind of travel, share some of your travel favorite destinations, tips and tricks. It's a very open community where everybody has an answer or a question, and that is okay. Why am I even here? Haley knows what I will say. I do have a good idea, but I'm really glad that I could give a Hamilton reference and you were muted and couldn't sing it aloud. I wish you guys knew how many times I've heard Jason sing something from Hamilton. All right, so we're going to pull up this article. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the Omicron variant. It is wreaking a bunch of havoc. Everybody's losing their minds. Plus side is that it is not as severe as other variants, which is wonderful. However, there is a new requirement for all inbound U.S. travelers. So if you are coming back from an overseas vacation, if you are an immigrant, or if you are from a different country coming into the United States, you will now have to test one day before coming here. And I know that sounds super stressful, but you need to remember that the antigen tests are still accepted, pardon me, and those can come back really quickly. And that's actually, we're going to talk about that in our travel tip of the day. Another thing to keep in mind with this, it's everybody that is age 2 and up. So even children as young as 2, you're going to have to test them to come back from abroad. The tests that are accepted are the antigen and the PCR as well. And remember, you need to take this 24 hours before your flight to the States. So if you take it on Monday at 10 a.m., but your flight is Tuesday at 7 p.m., that's no bueno. So Jason, let me see if you left any comments here. He's got a cocktail and a fruit kebab. I'm so jealous. Yep, and this is regardless of your vaccination status. And Jason, that is a good point. I think we're going to see a rise in that home kit testing, kind of like the cruise lines are doing right now. And a good thing to know is, since I changed my London plans to cruising the Celebrity Reflection for New Year's, that the home tests that the cruise lines are recommending, like Celebrity sent me, they're open on the holidays. So if you're doing travel around the holidays, keep that in mind, that having that home test option might be the better option for you versus finding a place. Jason, I won't make a comment about the fruit. So in other news, we're going to talk about something a little more lighthearted, because let's be honest, all the travel news is this Omicron variant. And I think the biggest thing that you guys just need to keep in mind is that there are some changes. You need to stay on top of them, but it's not as deadly. Work with your travel agent, cough, cough, to help you get through that. Trafalgar's came up with a new House of Gucci inspired vacation. This is a tour that takes you to Rome, Milan, Lake Como. It's all around House of Gucci. Jason, is that something that you would do? Let's see if he's going to respond to me. And I'd be curious to see if anybody else in here would be interested in doing that. Jason would. He would want to visit. Would you visit all the main fashion houses in Milan? Of course. Beautiful. I think it sounds amazing. Now, for our question of the day, I'm going to twofold this, Jason. And it's going to be, should you change your travel plans because of this variant? How do you feel about it, Jason? And what should you be doing with your travel with the rise of this new variant? Is it worth it to postpone? Is it worth it to shift? So while you type, I'm going to tell you guys what I did, because I did a whole lot of changing this past week. So I was supposed to be going to London I was leaving Christmas Eve, and I was going to spend all the way through New Year's there. I changed my plans, did not change them because of the variant, but because the testing was going to be sticky in the UK. Like half of my vacation, I was going to be in self-quarantining and testing, and I did not want to do that. So I just did a bit of a shift. So Jason says, I don't think you should change unless where you are going is closing. Just need to be aware and get the booster. I think that's really important too, especially a lot of us that got vaccinated earlier in the year, getting that booster, because some places will say within 6 months. You don't want to be caught in that in between. So definitely look at getting a booster if you can. Let's see here. What should you be doing? So another thing that you guys should be doing with this is staying on top of, you're good, Jason, is staying on top of the travel changes. And this is one of those important factors. I know I make jokes because Jason is a travel agent. You guys should all use him because he's wonderful. But having somebody in your life who knows what they're doing, it's his job to stay on top of these kind of things. I mean, Jason and I send travel articles all day, every day, all hours of the day, going back and forth. And if it's something that, pops up as super important, we post it in that Today in Travel group that I encourage all of you to be a part of. Denise, 100%. adjust. There's another one behind Omicron, then another one, just like the flu. And that's what you guys need to remember. This isn't never going to fully go away. It's just like there's different strands of the flu. It's gonna be an ongoing thing that we kind of have to live with. Of course, remember, it doesn't hurt to keep some extra masks on hand, some sanitizer, some Lysol wipes so that you feel comfortable. And then using trusted travel companies and travel agents are just huge. People that align with your values. Airlines aren't requiring testing, they are against it. It's here to say, so we have to decide to live our life or not. So, Cruise and Q, Jason just answered that question for you. Perfect. So, next is our travel tip of the day. So, with all of these variants, people are stressing out where to get a test. There's actually a website called testfortravel.com. It has some important information. It uses crowdsourcing to find locations abroad, etc., what kind of tests you can use. It is a great website. So if you are curious, you have a trip planned overseas, testfortravel.com will help you find a place. And I can tell you, if you're going to Italy, pretty much any pharmacy, same with Paris, that has a tent outside of it does testing. Yes, Jason. So I'm actually going to talk about who's cruising this week. And while I talk about that, why don't you show everybody the retreat? And if you don't buy travel insurance, don't leave home, right, Jason? Allianz. I love Allianz. I can't believe I traveled without it before. I'm low-key ashamed of my old self. So for those of you that are just joining, Jason is on the Celebrity Edge. He is booked in a Sky Suite, which means he gets access to the retreat. The retreat is the suites-only neighborhood on celebrity ships. A lot of even the older ships that have been brought to the Edge, like the Millennium and the Summit, have a retreat pool deck, different than this one because they're older ships. But this is the ship that started it all. This is the game changer for celebrity. So there's not just a pool deck. There's also a retreat lounge. You get a specialty dining restaurant, Luminae. On celebrity ships, if you book in the suite, another amenity is that you do get a butler as well for your room. Depending on your suite, you will also get, I have to add Jason back in. Depending on your suite, you will also get extra amenities brought on board. Like some of the Edge villas get pajamas and things of this nature on this ship. Cruise and Q, I didn't realize you were going on the Equinox. I'm doing the Reflection December 26th. By the way, if you guys are looking for a last minute deal on a cruise, because normally speaking, holiday cruises are really, really expensive. There are some pretty great rates and onboard credit options for the Celebrity Reflection that week. So it leaves December 26th, 7 nights, Nassau, San Juan, St. Thomas, and the Dominican. You have access to the retreat from there too. Oh, so if you're in an Edgeville, this is what Jason's showing us. You have access from your room into the retreat. Jason, you didn't tell me you were staying in an Edge villa. Little Christmas trees. Now, guys, if you want to see what an Edge villa looks like, you need to check out Ken Jarvis's stuff because he did broadcasts from his Edge villa, his suite room tours. You can also find them on YouTube. It's pretty cool. I could never afford it, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So for who's cruising this week, we'll wait for Jason to pop back in. Jason's on the Celebrity Edge. JJ Cruz is on the Celebrity Constellation. Brian Cardy will be on Navigator of the Seas. I think you are right now, Brian, if I remember correctly. And then Cruise Life Rick and Ken Jarvis are on Oasis of the Seas this week. A lot of Royal Caribbean group right here between Celebrity and Royal this week. So if you want to see what those ships look like and what to expect, make sure you check out those broadcasters. Their full names are in our travel group today in travel.live. the last part of today. So normally we have a follower question of the day, and I didn't do one this week because we were trying to change over to a new platform. It was a little busy. But I'm just going to take some time and reiterate what we talked about in the beginning of this broadcast. This is going to be mine and Jason's last official Today in Travel Happs broadcast. Now, that's not to say that we might pop on individually when we are traveling. And we are still going to, watch some stuff in here for the sake of our group because we've had so many problems. And Cruising Q, please try your first Happs. And make sure you put the hashtag in the subject line, like what the name of the broadcast is. That way we can find you. So the way that we're going to shift this is when I put out the Who's Cruising this week in the group, put down your username and which platforms you plan on broadcasting on. I know it's not as streamlined as Periscope was, or it was easy, but we have to make do with what we have. So if you're going to be broadcasting, you can comment on that post in the group where you're going to be broadcasting from, what your screen name is, and then if you're not comfortable on any of these other platforms, you can always broadcast within the group. We're going to be putting up some group guidelines for broadcasting, like keep it slightly tasteful. We all enjoy some humor. We want to make sure that it's good humor that doesn't offend people too much. I know that we all like to pick on each other, but it needs to be a little bit partially wholesome so that we keep everybody's feelings overall in mind. So those are all going to be coming out. Jason and I are going to be trying a new app where we can multicast. So this will still come out to YouTube. This will still come out to Twitter and other places. But we just needed to find a better platform. And since a lot of you were having problems, that's why we're doing it. So I don't think Jason is able to get back on. I'm going to check my phone. Overall, yes, go Tigers. We're still going to be multicasting to other platforms. We're having a very hard time with Happs, and we've kind of tried to stick it through. But for example, I went live the other night, and some of my viewers couldn't see the whole broadcast. And it seems like the app is going a little bit more music focused, so we are going to just shift accordingly. If things change, we might come back to it, but I encourage you. I'm at Haley with a Flair on everything. Instagram, YouTube. We're still going to have the show every week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We still have our group Today in Travel.live, so make sure you join there. So Jason said his Wi-Fi died, so that is going to be it for this broadcast. I'm sorry it was a little crazy, but this is kind of one of those points as to why we are going to be trying something new. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you. If not,